Okay. Yes. Get my, oops. Yeah. Call the meeting to order. First item is the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Agenda up there for everybody to see. There's no executive session tonight. I'm a pledge. Can I get a motion to adopt the minutes from the October 16th and the October 23rd, 2020-25 meetings?
I'll move it. I'll second it.
Discussion of the town clerk, you received the edits and corrections. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Yes, motion carried. Next one will be citizens' comments. We do have two motions to add, in case anybody had questions. We will be, and just so you know, we will be tabling G again, because we will be adding a motion to extend the bond posting again. Motion H would be a motion to sign the agreement for National Grid to allow the Beeville Snow Riders Club to create a trail along their National Grid-owned property in the central part of Lysander, going from north to south. Oops, sorry.
I would just change the phraseology, Dina, for that. It's signing a letter of no objection.
Sign, okay.
It's not an agreement.
Sign a
It's
letter.
a letter of no objection to National Grid entering into an agreement with the Snowmobile Trail Riding Club to allow the club to use National Grid property.
Okay, I'll let the town attorney read that one again when we get to it. And then motion I will be a motion to allow extension of the Melvin Farms LOI bond posting from 58 days to 60 days. We originally signed it on September 29th, so the 60-day time frame would give them until November 21st, which will be when the day after we meet on the 20th. That is because the developer has asked us to give them more extension in time to either come up with a letter of credit or the bond posting for the sewer work to be done. That being said, I will open the floor up to citizens' comments. If there's anybody willing to talk, they can come up. If you'd like, please state your name. You have 5 minutes.
Liz Schmidt. I'm coming up to comment today to strongly urge the board to not approve the agreement with Flock for the purchase of the reader cameras. And I have basically 4 objections I want to discuss really quickly in 5 minutes. First of all, you're going to commit to an upfront and continuing cost as we go into a budget cycle, which you know is going to be increasingly grim, right? I think New York State is going to have their own issues with likely changes to Medicaid that are going to persist, that will have them have a mid-year budget. I think any kind of trickle down of federal grants for special projects to municipalities are likely to be non-existent or very small under the current environment. So you create this tighter environment and you're committing to an upfront cost, and you know the cost. The cost is certain, it's given. What is not clear is the marginal benefit of additional cameras in the town of Lysander, of these license plate readers. So fiscally, I don't know that it's the most responsible decision right now. My second issue is to offer 2 case studies about Flock and how they do business. The one from May of 2025, a Texas sheriff accessed over 83,000 cameras across multiple states so he could track a woman. And he was tracking a woman who was seeking an abortion, which, as you know, is illegal in Texas, but legal in other states. In addition, Texas has laws that can prosecute people who have got them in other states, although they haven't been tested all the way through. Right? He argued it was a missing person thing, but basically the person reporting her missing was a partner who was actually charged with violent assault, domestic violence against her, and he tracked it. Even the sheriff himself eventually evades sexual harassment charges. So basically it allows people with a lot of access and discretion, and maybe not the best judgment or intentions, a lot of power in terms of the information they could get. I would also note that when you agree to share it with another law enforcement agency, which I think is the point, such as the Onondaga County Sheriff, then they can share it with other people and they don't need your permission to do it. You can't actually restrict that secondhand sharing under the Flock agreements. The other case comes from September of 2025. Flock was just presented with a cease and desist order in Evanston, Illinois, because Evanston, Illinois took down their cameras when they realized that the Border Patrol was allowed to sort of use these cameras without their permission. So the state of Illinois told municipalities, we don't want this happening. And the municipalities basically shut them off and rescinded the agreement. Flock then reinstalled a bunch of cameras without permission. And they were given a cease and desist to stop to do that. So even after the town said, no, we're done, Flock just went ahead and took the incentive to begin to collect this data. The other issue you're going to have to decide in the town is, where do these go? Where do these cameras go? This decision is not neutral and potentially privileges some residents over others. Because if the camera is known located in certain areas, then potentially people with bad intentions avoid those areas and they choose other areas, right? So you're almost privileging, not intentionally, but I think you can't help but privilege certain neighborhoods over the others. And when you make this decision as well. And my final issue is, I know we have posed questions to the Flock representative. They came in on, Zoom or whatever to answer questions, found some answers, got back to you. But in the end, it seems that we're going by the person in charge of selling you this system is telling you. And I just don't think that's a basis for a decision. Because I think the intentions of the person selling you the system isn't to give you the benefits and costs and an honest reckoning of this data. This kind of data merged together with all data is incredibly powerful. And there is a strong responsibility to police its use. Thank you.
Thank you. And just so you know, I missed it, but we will not be signing the agreement tonight because other board members had issues. I thank you though, you pointed it out, so I appreciate that. We're gonna table it. Is there anybody else?
Ed Schmidt, same topic. I posed some questions last time this came up. I'm not sure we ever got full answers on that, so I just wanted to reiterate. One of the things we were looking for is what are the actual real hard benefits of this system? There's a lot of anecdotes out there, but they've got hundreds of thousands of cameras. They should be able to tell us crime goes down by this %, or crimes are solved this much faster, or the solve rate of crimes is this much better, whatever it is. And we don't have any of that data. So right now we know we're going to spend $21,000 a year, potentially forever, but we don't know, do we get that back in any way? So that was one question. The other is the data security, like my wife mentioned. I think they did respond to that, but the answer was kind of odd. It was like, well, you can pick whoever you want to share the data with, and then whatever their permissions are, allow them to share it further. And that's just not the way IT systems should work, right? We should have control over our data. We should know who it's going to, and we should be able to say, it goes to this person only, or it goes to this organization only. And that's not what I read in the answer, so that's a little concerning. And then I think she covered the Evanston, Illinois thing real well. And the other one was the data retention period. I think we have to get answers on this stuff and have a good policy in place before we go ahead and sign it. We want to be able to say, we're going to allow this to go on, and we're going to keep the data active for 3 days or 7 days or whatever, and then it has to be erased. And these are the kind of uses we approve for it, and we don't want it going any further than this particular organization, whatever it is. But we have to define all that before we sign it, and I just don't know that we've done that yet.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name's Kim Kopp, and I live in Seneca Estates. And when I'm here tonight, I have a couple purposes. One is to link arms with you guys, and that maybe was some input from the community. I am going to hold you accountable to do better. So I tried to contact the current, I don't know if he's here, highway superintendent. I had conversations with him on the phone to try to better understand where there was no communication to the homeowners of our development for this construction. Are you guys aware of that communication? Did I just miss it?
So let me explain.
Okay.
It's an elected, a highway superintendent's an elected position.
Yeah,
I think we all know that.
He's an interim, I get it.
So, when it comes to road maintenance and construction and timeframes, that's left up to that department because us as a town board cannot, we can ask him, hey, did you notify the homeowners in the area you're doing construction? He doesn't have to tell us anything.
That's
So,
very sad.
well, that's,
I'm not saying it's
we had a
wrong.
vote in June, everybody decided we're gonna keep it this way. You know, so, because 830 people showed up and 680 of them said they want to keep it this way. So that's the drawback with this. There's no, that department runs independently. The people who work in that department answer to the person that's in charge. I can only hope that it will get better in January and there will be more communication.
Okay.
So
I'm here
you
to
can-
share, I don't know if any of you have driven through. Have you driven through? Any of you have driven
I have
through the
not.
development?
I don't even know what
Which
work you're
I'm
talking
guessing you're talking about Mariners Trail where they're doing the catch basin work.
You don't know where it is?
No, I don't know what construction project you're talking about or road
Right.
work.
You didn't tell us which development is what we're saying.
I mean,
Seneca Estates is what I said. So-
Right, but you
Right?
have to understand, we approved a road maintenance plan in May. We have no idea when or how or who is doing it after we give it to the highway.
Where does the accountability lie?
The
Highway superintendent.
That's very sad.
Well,
That
it's,
there's
New York
no-
state law,
Oh.
that's the way it works.
That's New York state laws, or that's what we decided?
No,
Okay.
that's-
I'll do my own research on that, that's okay. So, I'm sorry to sound so frustrated. Here's where we are. We got a gazillion flags placed in our neighbors, in our yards. Okay, so we have a great neighborhood. I've only lived here 7 years. I lived most of my life in the town of Salina before we moved here. We have a homeowners association. When I discussed it with the current highway superintendent, I said, what did you do to notify the people that pay your paycheck? And he said, anyway, I said, okay, I don't think that's fair. Why did it have to be done now? He told me he was told the money had to be spent by the end of the year. My question is that true?
Yes.
Is it restricted? Is it a grant? Or why did it have to be spent by the end of the year? Do you all not do accrual accounting? I'm an accountant, so I'm wondering, why did it have to be this year?
so in May, the highway superintendent presents a pavement management plan. Per state law, the board has to approve that plan to expend those funds. So we approved the plan to expend the funds. There are a list of roads and there is associated work. I will sit here and admit that not everything on that list gets done, but the town engineer and the highway superintendent will go through that list and decide what they can get done that year, or hopefully it all gets done. But as to when and how, I can tell you this. The catch basins took months to get in.
Yep, and I know the priority of how they come, I'm fully aware of that, who gets them first, there's states, there's counties, there's counties,
So
I get it.
that they were ordered.
Yeah.
You know, they have to be measured,
You told me that.
this is, and listen, this is coming from the town supervisor. I know this much about running the highway department, I will admit that. But this is the limited part I know of paying the bills.
So there's never amendments or exceptions made when your funds aren't spent according to a plan.
If those funds don't get used this year, you have two choices.
Okay.
You could encumber them to use next year.
Yep, it's accrual
Or
accounting.
what the town has done forever is at the end of the year, revenues, expenditures, we didn't do the expenditures,
Roll it
any additional goes into the fund
Roll it
balance.
over, right? It's called
Correct.
accrual accounting, right?
Right.
So it didn't have to be spent this year.
No,
It was planned to be spent this year.
yes.
I get plans, I get budgets, I get it. But he told me it had to be spent this year, and that if I had a problem, I could come here, so that's why I did.
And you see the answer you're getting from them.
Elected
I want you,
one that's
I
gonna
get
kick
that,
off in
I
January.
followed it, I get that. It is a huge safety concern. And when did they dig? 2 days before Halloween. We have ditches on both sides of that road at the same time. Huge safety. Trick-or-treaters, but the money had to be spent this year, Mrs. Cobb. There's nothing I could do about it. I told them not to do it. They told me I had to do it and the money be spent.
That is not true. No one was asked when or how or what roads.
Every single thing that we've had to be able to find out, which I understand, you guys don't run with a plan of communication, in my humble opinion, okay? You could put construction area up on your website so we know what's coming, what's gonna happen, or he or whoever the heck does it.
It would require
Right.
the highway superintendent to inform us what
Okay,
work he's doing.
so one of our neighbors in our homeowners association came up, talked to him, and said this, and this is going on. He would come back, put it in our post. Come back, what's going on now? Obviously, the basins didn't get done in time, we had to remark. I get it, I'm fully aware. I'm a retired budget director from Syracuse University. I did construction, I get it. My big problem is safety. There are cones. I have a double driveway, and I'm lucky I can fit 2 cars side by side with what I have to go in and out of. I was not notified of this. I'm selling my house in the spring. I just put a new driveway in so it could be dug up. Don't try to tell me we're gonna put it all back together. We all know, and I'm not insulting anyone with National Grid here, but when they dig up your yard, you know how it gets seeded, okay? It's not gonna be the $9,000 that I just paid for a new driveway. I wouldn't be so doggone angry if it was communicated. And we can point the finger, he does it, she does it. That's his job. You guys did 800 votes. What I'm saying is, if nobody wants to do better and figure out a way to do better, it's hard for me to get my pom-poms out for the time of the Lysander. What is it gonna take? What's gonna happen if a little one had been hurt on trick-or-treat night because they weren't even filled with crushed stone? They were open ditches. It's wrong. And if it's gonna lie with, it's his bailiwick, then tell me. If that's how it's gonna lie,
It is.
then, and we can't change it because we just had this other vote that didn't pass, right?
After the feedback and pushback we received holding the vote, which happened well before we appointed this person, that motion was set well before he was in that position. The vote of appointed elected came up because a highway superintendent resigned 10 days into the year due to issues in the highway department. So that vote was, we don't have a deputy, because if we don't have an acting highway superintendent and we don't have a deputy and I cannot get a hold of the highway superintendent, I get to try to run that department. That's what I get if I cannot find the highway superintendent, or he is not giving direction to the highway employees.
So none of you, as my elected officials, can tell me how this can get made any better. The only person that can tell me is this newly elected person that takes office on X.
Yes, because according to New York State highway law and town law, the highway superintendent is an elected official, which he is, controls his entire department. All we do is manage the funds that go to that department. And we have never sat here in all the history of Lysander and decided what roads and when.
I'm not asking for that. I'm not asking for you to be involved in if it's street A or B, or do we paint this, or do we dig that up?
Right.
I'm asking because
all I can say is the next highway superintendent is in the audience. I'm sure he is taking your notes, and I'm sure he will operate differently than what has happened this year.
And you don't have to acknowledge my cry, you don't have to commit to it, but I will tell you that I am asking us, the person in the seat, we deserve better. And I don't know how that can be accomplished other than how this one individual runs their ship. But there's no reason that we were not notified of all of this. And you don't know. Any idea how long the first set of flags sat in my yard?
I don't, because I don't know when they asked for the dates.
66 days this summer. What do you have to do? You have to mow. And there's the laws that if you touch it and you move it and you pick it up and you don't do this and you don't do that. That's not fair to us. It is not fair to the taxpayers. It's not right. I know life isn't fair. It's not Burger King. We're not gonna have it our way. I'm fully aware of that. But doggone it, I want the town to be concerned, and if it's that person, because who's gonna get sued when someone gets hurt?
The town,
Not him.
correct.
And that's where I'm asking you to do your due diligence. I know they run their own ship, but somehow it's gotta spill over to the people to protect the taxpayers. And I know you don't wanna hear it, I don't like to say it. You work for us, we pay your salary,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
Bottom line. Let me just go into my notes to make sure there's nothing that I didn't forget, because it makes me, there's no reason for it. So I can't hold this guy accountable because he runs his own ship. I can't come to you that I voted for, or you that I voted for, or you that I voted for with any of my concerns about a highway department because he runs his own ship. I get it's New York State, but it's wrong. So somehow, my challenge is you guys figure a workaround. I'm not telling you to stick your nose in what construction has been done.
We tried to work around, it didn't work.
But I'm telling you to band
Ma'am,
together.
every time I suggested a safety issue, I got a sign put out on some right of way on a town or county road. So, attacking me.
Have you not seen
I
the
have
signs?
tried. I tried all year.
Yeah.
And Tuesday, there was an election, and
Fully aware.
I am thinking it's going to be totally different on January 1st.
Okay.
That's all I can
I will
say.
tell you this, I will continue to hold you accountable and this individual accountable on January 1st to do better for the taxpayers in Lysander. You guys got a great town, you do a great job. I came from Salina, God help me. You do a good job here. You do a good job.
Salina made a couple
People that
changes
answer the
too on
phone. People in
Tuesday.
Salina don't answer the phone. I called today, I don't even know who I talked to, I think it was you, that said, how do I do this, Jam? I've had it, right? You called me back, you aren't gonna get that. So I'm not making it sound like everything you do is awful, it's not why I'm here. But when safety comes in, it's huge, it's wrong. I mean, we have a big different demographic. It's a lot of walkers, a lot of older people. You know where the mailboxes are right now? My mailbox is in my neighbor's front yard. A 91 and 92-year-old guy live across the street from me. He comes down on a scooter. He called me, Kim, I can't get my mail. You know what I told him to do? Call the highway superintendent. I need to take your mailbox out.
I know.
I agree with you.
It's nonsense.
It is, and there was accountability because that person's no longer there.
That's
Just so you know, accountability happened on Tuesday.
Right, with the voters, with
I
every
know that.
elected official.
So, I
I
mean,
know that.
and I feel
So
your
when does the person
frustration.
take office?
January 1st.
So what do I do between now and January 1st with my safety issue?
Still that person.
Still that person.
Call them every day.
Nothing.
They're currently on
I mean,
410s, so I wouldn't call on Fridays.
I mean, I don't want to waste your guys' time, sorry. It drives me crazy that this is acceptable. You know,
It's not acceptable.
It's not, we're not saying it's acceptable.
They're not saying it's acceptable.
It's nuts, but anyway, thanks, guys. Thank you. Have a good night. And if you have any spare time, drive down Mariner Trail. I'd love to know what you think.
I'm gonna drive by tomorrow.
You should, because it's a dang mess. It's closed, actually. They didn't tell us the road was gonna be closed, but the road is closed. On both ends is a sign, local traffic only. Guess what else can't happen? My dang trash can't get picked up.
They did.
It's ridiculous.
They did. The town engineer told them they had two choices, and they called and reported to 911. What I was told is that 911 knows the road is closed. because of the narrow width, because of the catch basins on both sides.
I should not have to take my trash to a local dumpster and my neighbor's trash and the 91-year-old guy across the street, because the trash people can't get down the street for pickup.
I know, and I wish there was someone here to explain that to you, or you got the explanation you were looking for.
It's nuts. It's ludicrous.
You can come up, Ed.
Well, start with, I've been there for 14 years. In the past, superintendents always notified the neighborhood. Always. Didn't do no good, but it's still, it's complaining,
Right.
just so you know. I mean, she might have a legal going this time, but most of the time, the highway superintendents always posted it. Call them, put it on the website, whatever, they've done it. I know it, because I've done it. Good.
I
So you
do,
know.
on the road closure part, I do know that was a day of decision.
Yeah.
When the town
If the
engineer
road
went on.
closed, they got dial 911 call.
Right.
That's automatic, have to.
Right.
We, you know,
That was-
highway superintendent always.
That was before the project, that was.
Yeah.
The project was already ongoing,
So
so,
it's supposed to be done before,
yes.
but just so you know.
Yep, oh, not, there's always two sides to
Yeah.
every.
And I've been there. And like I said, we've notified them and it don't do no good. People still drive right down the road like you're not even there. So, you know, it's just something we put up with.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak tonight? Seeing none, before I get to town board comments, we do have the Mayor Brian Borchek of the Village of Phoenix. If I didn't know if you had anything to say, I know you said you might attend the meeting. Thank you, Brian. Brian was a graduate of Baldwinsville Baker High with me in 1994, and here we both are doing the work of our town and village. And Village of Phoenix has been very helpful. They've worked with us, we've worked with them, codes projects. So, you know, you've done a great job over in that town to see Phoenix is vibrant, and you're bringing it back to life over there with all the projects and the business and the entrepreneurs that are coming through there. And I think you're doing great things.
I appreciate it. We work together, so, you know, it's rare that I don't have a meeting some evenings, so I didn't, so here I am. After 2.5 years of being in the position, I actually have a free Thursday night, so I figured I would come to a meeting.
Thank you. Thanks, Brian. And if anybody over in that area has any questions or concern, you can always reach them, call the village manager, or, you know, call the office. They're very attentive. Thank you. On the town board comments, Mr. Warren.
Yes, I would like to thank everyone for coming out. Thank you for watching. Everyone who made a comment, thank you. And I feel bad that Ms. Kopp is gone. I did not hear her state her development when she first came up.
Seneca Estates.
I know where it is, and I know where Mariner Trail is. I have friends that live there. I just didn't hear her say it at first. So when she started talking about her development, but I feel for her. That was a lot of frustration. We've been dealing with similar situations for years. Sometimes we get frustrated as well. So thank you for everyone. Thank you, Ms. Kopp, for coming up here. I'll go from there.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to thank everyone who came out tonight, everyone who's watching, everyone who voted. So congratulations, Carl, Ed, who's in the audience, and Dina as well, too. So look forward to working with you guys January 1st.
Very good. Next item, supervisors' comments. I just have a few election results. Thank you to all the candidates. A couple of, Ed and Carl are here tonight. Thank you for running. Congratulations, and can't wait to work with you in January. And thank you to the candidates who run and weren't as successful. And also Vincent Mangan will be on the board. And to the incumbents that weren't challenged, Town Clerk Falcone, Judge Bryant. We appreciate everybody that ran. Running for office is not an easy thing, and there's always a winner and a loser. So, I've lost way more than I've won, but it's not easy. You put yourself out there, you never know what you're gonna get, and you have your best intentions and you serve your term, and hopefully you do well for the public and your community. So thank you all that ran, and that covers that, and the village has a couple of people too. Garbage cans, it's getting to be that time of year with the winter coming up. Make sure, I know most people, you keep them over near the white line or the fog line or on the road. As it starts snowing, keep them back. The arms can grab them now. They can reach far enough out, keep them off so the wings don't. Right, so the wings don't take them away with the plow and you're calling. The arms on the garbage trucks can reach anywhere from 7 to 9 feet, I believe, to pick up your cans. Next thing, with another right-of-way issue, basketball hoops. I know there's a lot of people that have basketball hoops over at the edge of the road. Remember that hoop top is perfect height for the wing when it's up and we're not winging and we're just out salting. So keep those off the back of the road. Put them down, tip them down. Don't leave them out, hanging out on the side or overhanging. The right of way, keep it back behind your mailbox is usually a good measurement. We do have, with Vincent Mangan winning, we will have an open zoning board of appeals seat that will, I don't know Vince's term, but it'll take effect on January 1st when he comes to the town board. So we'll be posting on our town website if there's anybody interested in applying. It'll be, you can email supervisor@townoflysander.org. We'll look them over and I'll meet with the chair of the zoning board in December and we'll see if we have multiple candidates or who we have and we'll do interviews. So feel free to reach out or call town hall. They'll direct you to me. The other item we have is in my father's kitchen. Supervisor Vanderwater over in Van Buren, they were doing a clothing drive for winter. If you haven't heard of In My Father's Kitchen, they do a lot of work for the homeless. They provide meals. They also look for jobs. And some of those jobs are outside. Some of those people that are homeless also go and help In My Father's Kitchen. So they are looking for winter coats, skier water resistant types, gloves, preferably water resistant, white socks, new only, hats and scarves, hand warmers to keep inside the gloves, and boots. Newer, gently used, sizes 8.5 to 12. The town clerk has started a box out front. Town of Van Buren has a box that will be over there. If you're over that way, feel free to drop it off at either location and help the people out that are doing a great job for our community and help the people out that are homeless. Not everybody wants to go into the homes in the winter. There's people who somehow survive out there in our winters. So that was the last item I had, and just a note that we'll be closed on Veterans Day next Tuesday. It's a holiday, so we will not be here. I mean, I probably will be, but the rest of the people won't, because I don't know when to quit. Next thing is department head reports, as I bring the computer back. Department head, town attorney.
Nothing at this time.
Okay. Town clerk.
Yes, I'd just like to thank everyone for your support during this election. Even though I was unopposed, it still can be a little frustrating, but thank you for that. Also, I just want to remind people that we have a parking ordinance November 1st to April 1st, so there's no overnight parking, and so just make sure, because once the plows start coming out, it's going to be really hard for them to get by when there's cars on the street, and you can also be ticketed because it is in our ordinance. So I just wanted to remind everybody of that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next item is the agenda items. And motion A, can I get a motion to authorize the town supervisor to sign the intermunicipal agreement with the town of Clay for signage?
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Discussion. We have contracted with the town of Clay for many years to do our street and road signs across the town. They have a price list, hasn't changed. Our agreement is ending this year. I had already talked to the highway superintendent a couple weeks ago when Clay informed us. He said, yeah, we haven't had any problems. The signs work out well, so we will continue to use them. They give us a great turnaround time over there, so it's worked out wonderfully for us in the previous years. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All yes, motion carried. I'd like to get motion B. I'd like to get a motion to approve the special event license for the Bonesville Kiwanis Club Turkey Trot 5K and 10K.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Discussion. Park director oversees special event license, he didn't have any problems with. Mr. Moore is on the Rotary, how many years? Kiwanis, I'm sorry, how many years?
57.
I know it's over, yeah,
It's getting up there.
it's great, a
No, it's
huge,
great.
huge
It's
event.
a great community building event. I love that people come out on Thanksgiving Day.
To run,
Great.
to run at 6 or 7 in the morning,
It's not that early.
it's early enough.
It's cold.
So, oh, it's a great thing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All yes, motion carried. Motion C. I'd like to get a motion to hold a public hearing on November 20th, 2025 at 6:30 PM in the auditorium to consider the adoption of a local law under Chapter 102-7 of the Town Code, Tier 2 battery energy storage in the town of Lysander. This moratorium will be extended until February 20th, 2026. This motion shall authorize the town clerk to advertise for the same.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Discussion, we have extended this moratorium for a long couple of years now. It'll be almost 3 by the time we're hopefully done. The state has some guidance. We have not had time to put it in our law, look it over, send it through the appropriate planning boards. But we will extend more, we'll have the public hearing to probably extend it one more time. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All yes, motion carried. Motion D, I'd like to get a motion to hold a public hearing on November 20th, 2025 at 6:30 PM in the auditorium to consider the adoption of a local law under Article 29 to extend the moratorium on solar farms in the town of Lysander. This moratorium will be extended to February 20th, 2026. This motion shall authorize town clerk to advertise for the same.
Move it.
Okay.
I was like,
I'll second it.
Discussion. We have put the solar farm law together. We're having this preemptively. As you can see, we have 3 people here. We'll look over the law. We'll have the public hearing. We'll decide if we're going to extend it again or not. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Well, yes, motion carried. We are going to table motion E on the FLAC agreement. We'll get more information. Motion F. I'd like to get a motion to appoint Melissa McConaughey as part-time interim deputy town clerk, effective Thursday, November 6th, 2025.
I'll move it.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Discussion. Town attorney.
We're going to appoint a deputy at this time because there isn't one. And there may be moments where Clerk Falcone is unavoidably not available.
I think something's gonna happen to me.
Or someone runs her over with a car or something.
Oh,
There you go. So what this is a temporary interim appointment so that there is a deputy available to fulfill the duties of town clerk in the absence of Ms. Falcone. It's, I believe, part-time.
yes. Ms. McConaughey currently works in the assessor's office, so this would only be as needed time if the town clerk was unavailable.
Okay. And my understanding is that that circumstance will be changing at the beginning of the year.
Correct.
Yes.
And I've been training Missy as well, so.
Yes. The long pull is we sent out interviews, town clerk interviewed people, discussed things, and I believe Ms. McConaughey will be the deputy town clerk full-time in January of
That is correct.
2026. So this is to just cover the 6 weeks if the, hit by a bus thing comes to play. Hopefully it doesn't.
Hit by a bus, hit
That's
by
why
a car, hit by
Councilor
a plow.
Kudarakis is the deputy
We're coming up
supervisor.
with good ones. Everybody gets
And
to have
I'm
a
protecting you too, so you don't get hit by that bus.
But functionally, we need this position, even interim, temporarily interim filled. Because something as simple, for example, as filing in a timely fashion a ZBA resolution, a zoning board resolution on a case that might appear in front of them, has to be filed with the town clerk. There's requirements in the law that start counting timeframes from then. If Dina's not available, we need the deputy available so that the filing can actually occur legally. So that's only one example.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All yes, motion carried. Motion G, I'd like to get a motion to hold a public hearing on Thursday, November, oh, we're tabling that, I apologize. We're gonna table motion G, forget I said that. Motion H, I'm gonna need the town attorney's help on this one.
So it would be a motion to approve the supervisor's execution of a letter of no objection for the use by,
That's right.
Beagle, so
I actually have
I
it.
grabbed, no, I stole it from you.
Okay.
I wanted to make your life harder. Watch you sweat.
So it's a letter of no objection to the use of the Beeville
Snow Riders?
Snow Rider.
Yep.
Snowmobile Club
Beagle Snow Riders Club.
of Niagara Mohawk Power Corporation property. With the addition to the letter of
Doing business as.
obtaining from the Snowmobile Club annual proof of the existence of insurance for the club in general, and what was the other one?
Safety sign.
And provided that they comply with the safety rules and requirements applicable to snowmobile clubs throughout New York State.
Did you get all that, Dina?
I will when I watch this on Monday.
Or if you email me, call me on the phone, okay.
I'll move that.
I'll second it.
Okay, discussion. They came in at the work session and asked, they've already talked with National Grid. This is a step in the process that National Grid has asked them to do. Then they will go out and talk to the private property owners to see if they can actually get the trail part to be coordinated. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All yes, motion carried. Aye, motion aye. I'm reading from the last time. I'd like to get a motion to allow the extension of Melvin Farms letter of intent bond posting from 58 days of signing to 60 days after signing, which would be November 21st, 2025. The letter of intent was signed on 9/29, so the original timeframe would have expired on 11/19 that we extended on October 23rd.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
Discussion, the developer had asked us back in October as the first 30 days was coming close to expiring, he was having issues with the bond, getting an issuance of the bond. He asked us to extend it to November 19th when we met in our special session to approve the budget. We extended the time frame. That's why I'm extending the time frame again 2 more days so we can meet on the 20th, get with the developer on what the letter of credit will say and the language in it, and see if the board is in agreement to allow that to happen. For the public to understand, a majority of the sewer district payments, if it were created, and half of the actual infrastructure would be covered by the developer. And this is ultimately the development of Melvin Farms and building this part of the sewer district. The district won't happen because it'll be over the threshold of affordability to the state comptroller's office to the taxpayers that are currently in the district without this. So that's why the bond is so large. It's over $4.2 million that we're asking. Did you have anything else to add?
No, the whole point of doing this is the developers requested a letter to, in lieu of a bond, to do a letter of credit. They both fulfill the same function, but at this point, as I understand it, the developer hasn't provided the board with information regarding what the terms and conditions of that letter of credit would be, which I think the board feels is a necessary set of information prior to them making a decision as to whether or not to allow the substitute.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Oh, yes, motion carried. We have nothing else, so if I can get a motion to adjourn at 7:15 PM.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carried, meeting adjourned. Have a good evening, everybody.